And we welcome you back to Lane Stadium, a sellout crowd watching the 34th meeting between West Virginia University and the Virginia Tech Hokies. The Mountaineers lead it by 9 points, and statistically, John Garcia, it could have been a whole lot worse. West Virginia racking up 297 yards in total offense compared to 65 for the Hokies. West Virginia with 127 yards on the ground. But the key statistic in that first half, one that you don't see there, is penalties. West Virginia was charged with 9 penalties for 82 yards, and because of those penalties in key situations, the Mountaineers were forced to settle for field goals rather than touchdowns on 2 separate occasions. They had a first down and goal situation inside the 10, and they were unable to punch the ball in there. So in essence, West Virginia has been shut down in the first half for the first time this season. Their lowest point total in the first half of play through the first 4 games. And you must give credit to Virginia Tech as well. They've hung in there and they're playing very well, while the Mountaineers are a bit emotionally flat in that first half of play. Eugene Napoleon starting things off for the Mountaineers, and he is smothered at the 17-yard line. Napoleon brought it out from 1 yard deep. Junior out of Jersey City, New Jersey.
It looked like Eugene was a little hesitant there for 1 second, and then he decided to bring it out to the 16-yard line.
Mountaineers turning the ball over in that first half of play. Major Harris drew 2 interceptions, and there were 2 fumbles, so 4 turnovers by the Mountaineers. First play of the second half, and it goes to Craig Taylor, senior out of Linden, New Jersey, ahead to the 21-yard line.
There's no doubt Coach Nealon is not going to change the game plan. West Virginia moved the ball up and down the field. The only thing that happened was mental breakdown.
Nealon knew coming in that it's always difficult to play at Lane Stadium. His team has averaged just 11 points per game in 4 pass trips here under Don Nealon. They've got 12 so far, but they need a whole lot more. A.B. Brown, the ball carrier, and he is smothered by the middle of that Tech defensive wide tackle 6, Scott Hill, junior out of Virginia Beach, number 66, over to make the stop along with Don Stokes, the left side linebacker.
Traditionally, Virginia Tech has always played West Virginia very emotional. Today's no different.
Brown picks up a yard or 2, and it's 3rd down and 4 facing West Virginia. Harris has the first down plus a whole lot more. Major inside Virginia Tech territory, brought down at the 47-yard line, and there you see it. The ability of Major Harris to make the big play when in trouble. Don Stokes finally pushed him out of there, but Harris was trapped in and cut it to the outside. He just makes you miss. A 26-yard run for Major Harris.
Coach Nealon must have put this play in during the week, because I was at practice on Wednesday and they practiced it a number of times. What it was Major comes down the line on the option and then runs back the other way on an angle, and again it was a big play.
Fullback Craig Taylor pushes it up to the 45-yard line. Horatio Maranta, junior out of Fort Dix, New Jersey, number 93, making the stop on Craig Taylor. Well, a week ago, Major Harris broke a long run off on 2nd down and 25 against the Pitt Panthers. He scampered for 38 yards and broke the game open at that point. And he did it there on 3rd down and 4. Couple yard pickup at 2nd down and 8. And the option goes to A.B. Brown, and he's got room. Brown cutting across the 30-yard line, down to the 23, and a penalty flag comes down late. We could have a face mask. Jimmy Witten, sophomore out of Danville, Virginia, finally got a hold of A.B. Brown.
This is a great job at the base option. Major gets the read and he just pitches the ball. Now it's just a one-on-one situation, athlete against athlete. A.B. puts a little juke on him, gets upfield. Now watch the strength of A.B. Brown. I mean, he just breaks tackles.
And Witten coming over, grabbed a bit of that face mask, and so tack on a few more, 5 more on that penalty. West Virginia starts off this second half of action much like they did the ball game on that run. Brown now cracks the century mark, 102 yards on 14 carries. They added 5 yards on a face mask penalty from the Tech 18-yard line. That's Rembert in motion. Craig Taylor saw that hole close up very quickly as Don Stokes junior out of Hopewell, Virginia, was there to make the stop. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Jamie Lamont comes in for the Mountaineers, lining up as a receiver out to the right side. Reggie Rembert wide to the left. Adrian Moss, the tight end, over in motion. And Brown cuts it back inside the 15-yard line, brought down at the 12. Al Chambly, the left end, making the stop on A.B. Brown, who is putting together his best offensive afternoon of the season.
The toss sweep, and A.B. Brown sees a seam to the inside, and when this big guy gets running north and south, watch out.
Got an injured Virginia Tech player down on the field. As Brown trots off the field, Andra Johnson will come on. Injured player down for Virginia Tech. Hey, what are you doing down here? 11 minutes and 56 seconds to go here in the second half of play. Well, fans, don't forget that tickets remain on sale for all upcoming West Virginia home games except Penn State, Boston College. Up next, Saturday, October the 22nd is the day at Mountaineer Field. You can charge tickets by phone, calling 1-800-352-2512, or visit any Key Centurion member bank or reliable mortgage location throughout the state of West Virginia. That injured player down was Roger Brown, the right cornerback out of Baltimore, Maryland. Seems to be okay as he comes off the field under his own power. From the Tech 12-yard line. And they've got Major Harris trapped back there. Back to the original line of scrimmage, Jimmy Witten and Horacio Maranta over to make the stop.
Again, give credit to the Virginia Tech defense. They really get tough down here inside the 20-yard line. This is the 3rd time. They've done a great job.
Charlie Bauman on to try his 3rd field goal of the afternoon. A 29-yard attempt into the wind. Levinus is the holder, and Bauman's kick is good. West Virginia takes a 15-3 lead with 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. We'll be right back. Give you back to Lane Stadium as we take a look at West Virginia University's marching band, the pride of West Virginia, making a great deal of noise down there in the end zone to our right. Don Wilcox's band annually, just a tremendous unit.
Virginia Tech's logo, Tony, was designed by 2 art students back in 1984, where they had a little competition going in their art school, and they designed the new logo.
Is that right? That's the modern Virginia Tech logo that we're seeing this afternoon. The hot V crossing the T. It's an aggressive logo. Well, Charlie Bauman will stay over on the West Virginia sidelines as Brad Carroll will come on for the kickoff. Bauman has scored 9 of West Virginia's 15 points this afternoon on 3 field goals. He missed the extra point attempt after West Virginia's first touchdown, but Bauman has come back to hit field goals of 29 twice and 31.
We have to give credit to the West Virginia coaches there. That last series, they did their homework and came up with a big play on that option draw by Major Harris.
Brad Carroll's kickoff coming down to Marcus Michael on the run from the 12-yard line. He's got room, and he is hit there. The ball is loose, and Virginia Tech has the football. A big pop there by Willie Edwards. And coming up on that football was Tim Boitnott for Virginia Tech. You see him there, number 31, right place at the right time. The 11 minutes and 2 seconds to go, 3rd quarter of play. West Virginia's defense in that first half held the Tech offense to just 65 yards. Ronaldo Turnbull puts the stop on Ralph Brown. Brown rushing for 36 yards on 10 carries in the first half. And there he is, the gobbler of Virginia Tech.
Ronaldo just having a super year. That's a guy who wasn't expected to start. He has 5 sacks for a total of 44 yards lost.
3-yard pickup. It's 2nd down and 7 from the Hokie 29-yard line. Fiore over the middle, and that ball is picked off by Darrell Whitmore. The Virginia native comes back to haunt his state from Front Royal, Virginia. Redshirted freshman free safety for the WVU Mountaineers. Played it perfectly as Fiore came over the middle.
It's a straight drop back pass, and Whitmore slips right in front of that tight end, dragging across the middle.
Pass intended for Myron Richardson. There's Darrell Whitmore. He's been drafted twice by the Toronto Blue Jay organization. He's a shortstop, and this coming spring he'll skip practice on the football field and play for the West Virginia Mountaineer baseball team. Harris looking deep, and that ball is loose. It will go to Virginia Tech. Randy Cockrell picks up the loose ball as Harris was hit from the blind side and coughs the ball up. That's the 2nd time Harris has lost the football this afternoon, being hit.
Play action pass. Major just doing what he does best, trying to make the big play. Pressure came from the backside. Give the defense credit.
Jock Jones was there to make that hit on Major Harris. So turnovers are exchanged. And Virginia Tech from their 38-yard line, the quick toss to Ralph Brown. Spun down there by Preston Waters and Theron Ellis. One of those afternoons that West Virginia has not seen in a long time. 5 turnovers against the Mountaineers. You'd have to go all the way back to last year's game against the Maryland Terrapins, which was the 3rd game of the season, for West Virginia to have committed 5 turnovers in a ball game. Again, they go to Brown. The defense there to stretch him out, and Bo Orlando comes up to make the stop from his strong safety position. The senior out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, Joseph Bo Orlando.
A great play by Bo Orlando. I think his speed is very deceptive. They have a pro test, a 20-yard shuttle run. Bo Orlando has the fastest time on the team, 3.89 seconds. He's exceptionally quick.
Incredible strength. At 173 pounds, he bench presses over 400 pounds. Fiore on 3rd down and 4, and again Darrell Whitmore breaks the play up as Fiore was looking for his tight end, Brian McCall. Darrell Whitmore from Front Royal, Virginia.
We talked about turnovers, Tony. Coming into this game, West Virginia was +5 on the turnover board. Things have certainly changed here this afternoon.
They've turned it over 5 times already in the ball game. Kelly Fitzgerald with the punt, and this is a beauty. Bell will let it go, and West Virginia will have the touchback. 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line with 8 minutes and 57 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Mountaineers 15 and Virginia Tech 3. Tech punter Kelly Fitzgerald benefiting from the wind behind his back. Booted that ball 56 yards as the Mountaineers start off from their 20-yard line, and a big hole for A.B. Brown. 1st down, West Virginia, as Brown is stopped at the 37-yard line by safety man Scott Rice, and this is without question A.B. Brown's best rushing afternoon of the season.
A sprint draw, this is one thing that A.B. Brown is very good at. He has that vision where he can see the whole line of scrimmage. He saw a seam, cut it back, and had a great job. And like we said before, when he gets heading north and south, he's like a little locomotive.
119 yards, and that is the best rushing afternoon for A.B. so far this season. Again, it's A.B. Brown, and again a big hole. Brown down to the 45-yard line. An 8-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2. Anthony Pack, freshman out of Radford, Virginia, over to make the stop. I'm your defensive coordinator, Bob Shaw, along with outside linebacker coach Bill Kurlavich, talking things over with the defensive unit, but it hasn't been the defense that's been causing any problems for West Virginia. It's been the offense, penalties and turnovers. Craig Taylor finds running room tough. Penalty flag is down on the play. Jimmy Witten, right end, over to make the stop.
Virginia Tech's offense is certainly struggling. They do not have an active player who scored a touchdown so far this season. Both Jeffries and Fox are both injured, so the 5th game of the year, they don't have anybody who scored a touchdown.
Penalty will go against West Virginia, a hold. That'll be their 9th penalty of the ball game for 93 yards. Mountaineer defensive front taking a seat as the offense tries to get on track, leading it by 12 points, 15-3. Brings up a 2nd down and 11. Quick toss over to A.B. Brown, and Brown knocked down at that 1st down marker. Over at the 47-yard line, Roger Brown, the right cornerback, pushing Brown out of bounds. So Brown on that play. West Virginia lined up A.B. Brown there, John, out of the backfield as a receiver.
West Virginia coaching staff just taking advantage of that 8-man front with only 3 people in secondary coverage. They feel they can throw the ball all day.
On the spot, West Virginia will have the 1st down. Chain gang making their way over on the far side of the field. And again, the ball carrier is A.B. Brown. He'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Coming off the pile, Al Chambly out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, a sophomore.
Chambly having a super game today. He has great ability, and again, one of the strongest guys on Virginia Tech team.
Reserve receiver Jeff Roberts over warming up on the Tech sideline. No gain on the play, so it's 2nd down and 10. Harris is knocked down by Chambly again. Well, Chambly starting to become a force here in the ball game. West Virginia will face a 3rd down and long.
And this guy's only a sophomore, Tony. We've got to look at him for 2 more years.
Jamie Lamont and Reggie Rembert go out. Calvin Phillips and Grannis Bell come in. West Virginia is 5 of 9 in 3rd down conversions. This is a 3rd down and 9 facing the Mountaineers. Brown on the draw play, and West Virginia has been held. Scott Hill, the left tackle, read the play beautifully. And Lance Carrion will be called on to punt for the 2nd time this afternoon. Carrion will be punting into the wind. His first kick went for just 29 yards. He came in with a tremendous average, as you see, 46.5. End over end kick. Dies at the 25-yard line. So Virginia Tech will have it 1st and 10 from the 25 with 5 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Well, Will Fuhrer and company will try to get on the scoreboard here for Virginia Tech. Hokies trailing it by 12 points, and this is Jeff Roberts, who we just saw warming up. West Virginia's defense has the play read, but a beautiful catch by Myron Richardson down to the 25-yard line. 2 Mountaineer defenders were back on the play, but a beautiful grab by Myron Richardson took the ball away from Bo Orlando. Richardson, the junior, out of Richmond, Virginia, went right up and brought the ball down, and the Virginia Tech Hokies have their best field position of the afternoon. 1st and 10 from the 25. Ralph Brown on the quick toss. Met there by Chris Herring and Jim Gray.
That play was certainly well read by the Mountaineer defensive secondary. It's just Richardson came up with a great play.
Brown picks up 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Again, they go to Brown. Chris Herring's got a hold of him, along with Jim Gray, and he's held up at the 20-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Chris Herring made another super play on that. He's having a heck of a game today. He fielded right outside that defensive tackle, right in that running lane, and came up and made the play. Super job by Chris.
Mountaineer defense has done very well on 3rd down attempts this afternoon. Tech just 1 of 10. Here comes the blitz. And a beautiful grab there made by fullback Malcolm Blanken, but he will be shy of the 1st down marker. Bo Orlando came on the safety blitz. And Fuhr made the nice toss out front with pressure on him, but they'll be shy of the 1st down marker.
I tell you, Bo Orlando came on a strong safety game, and he just put the crosshairs on him. Fuhr was lucky to get that ball away, and he made a super effort.
4th down and 1, and Frank Beamer will go for it. Double tight end formation. From the 16-yard line. Ralph Brown, he will be stopped short. Depending on that spot, it did not look as though Brown had it. Mountaineer defense leaving the field.
There's no doubt West Virginia was ready for this play, to toss sweep, their number 1 play. Mike Fox making a great play coming up over the backside. Super effort by the West Virginia defense.
It was, and the Mountaineers have held with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Head coach Frank Beamer went for the gamble, and Brown could not get that necessary yardage.
That was great team defense that time, Tony. Everybody did their assignment and got to the football.
It's been the defense that's saving West Virginia's offense here this afternoon. Johnson pushed out of bounds over at the 25-yard line. Roger Brown, the right cornerback, over to make the stop. Johnson, senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tied for the team lead with touchdowns at 5. Shares that mark with A.B. Brown.
Tony, this shows you how much confidence the coaching staff has in these backup guys. The score is 15-3. Tech's still in this ball game, and here you have the whole backup offensive line and backup backfield in there.
Harris is in trouble, and they got him again. Bobby Martin, the right side linebacker, has become a force here in the second half for Virginia Tech, and they've corralled Major Harris. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4 as they spot it on the 22-yard line. Pass intended over for Calvin Phillips, and a great defensive play by Scott Rice, the safety, to bat the ball away. The Mountaineers will be forced to punt.
Major doing a good job avoiding the rush. It was a great play getting in front of the football. The Virginia Tech players finally got the fans off their seats a little bit.
Carrion has struggled with his punting so far, and this one is blocked. Picked up by Jock Jones, and that's a touchdown for Virginia Tech. Jock Jones, number 40. On top of the loose ball, and the Hokies have come within 6 of the Mountaineers with 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Well, the Tech Hokies could not come up with it on a gamble on 4th down and 1, but they gambled and went for the punt block, and they came through in flying colors. Virginia has called timeout.
The West Virginia defense a little sluggish getting out here after the block punt. I mean, nobody even came out on the field. You notice how the momentum has shifted since that big play on that knockdown pass. I mean, the crowd got off their seats and they came up with a big play.
Chris Kinzer is on to try the extra point.
We got us a football game here, Tony.
Certainly do. Much more of a game than anyone would have thought coming down. West Virginia averaging 48 points a game. Tech had been struggling offensively and defensively, and yet they're within 6 of the lead. Kinzer's boot is true, and West Virginia holds the lead by a score of 15-10. 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. Well, fans, Pepsi-Cola has a special offer for Mountaineer fans. You can order tickets to the Syracuse-West Virginia game at a special $10 price. Look for order information at the special gold and blue Mountaineer fan display at your favorite place where Pepsi is sold. Well, the Maryland Terrapins jumped on West Virginia and took a 14-0 lead in a game played at Morgantown earlier this season, and the Mountaineers came right back. But this comeback by Virginia Tech hasn't quite overtaken the Mountaineers yet, but it's much later in the ball game. And a score by Virginia Tech, a TD, will give them the lead.
This will be a good test for the West Virginia offense. Let's see what we can do after we get this ball back.
Don Nehlen is 2-2 against the Virginia Tech Hokies here at Lane Stadium, 6-2 in his career against Virginia Tech. But as you pointed out, John, that very important momentum has swung over to the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Things were pretty quiet here, Tony, the first 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, one play changes the whole complexion of a football game.
Chris Kinzer is ready to put the ball into play. Eugene Napoleon is back deep. A.B. Brown and Under Johnson are the up man, and there will not be a return. Kinzer drills it. And Major Harris and the crew will start off from their 20-yard line, first down and 10, with 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. Major Harris on the afternoon is 10 of 17 for 181 yards. Aaron Evans is the fullback. Under Johnson is the tailback. And he's back to the line of scrimmage before he's met by Al Chamblee.
West Virginia's going to need a big play here to quiet this momentum down and get Virginia Tech back on their haunches a little bit.
The 2-minute mark of the third quarter. Good protection for Harris. Major Harris breaking free ahead to the 25-yard line. Randy Cockrell came over to finally get a hold of Major Harris. That'll bring up third down and 5. Jamie Lamont brings the play in for West Virginia. Mountaineers just under 50% on third down conversion. The out pattern, and Reggie Rembert was going the wrong way. So miscommunication on an important third down play, and the Mountaineers will be forced to punt it off once again.
No, in the first two quarters, Tony, we made some mistakes, but they weren't very costly. Every play is very important now throughout the rest of this football game.
Remember, Carrion had his last punt blocked. Motion at the line and penalty markers are down. Ball downed at the 42-yard line, but penalty markers have fallen on both sides of the field. It will go against Virginia Tech. Offsides is the call. .103 to go here in the third quarter. It's West Virginia 15 and Virginia Tech 10. The Mountaineers coming in as 22-point favorites, averaging 48 points per game. But the Virginia Tech Hokies have given them all they wanted plus some more here this afternoon.
Coach Frank Beamer upset with that call. He was saying that the snapper was moving the football and drawing his team offside.
Carrion will come on once again. Carrion standing back at his 15-yard line. Myron Richardson at the 35 in Tech territory. A line drive boot that takes a big West Virginia hop. Richardson met there by David Lockwood. They'll put the ball at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 from the 28. That's where Virginia Tech will take over.
This will be a big test for the West Virginia defense. A good old-fashioned gut testing.
On first down, Lamar Smith, sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland, was the ball carrier. Penalty flag is down. It will go against West Virginia, face mask penalty. Take a look and you can see it. Ronaldo Turnbull came up high and got a hold of Lamar Smith's face mask. Injured Tech player is down and the training staff is out. Marcus Michael is the injured Gobbler. He's a reserve flanker, laying behind Nick Cullen. So Michael is out. It's as though he may have turned that right ankle.
Coming into this game, Tony, West Virginia defense had 18 sacks. And what that equated to one out of every time that the opposing quarterback dropped back, we had a sack. Nick
Cullen comes in motion. On first down, Fuhr looking to get out of that pressure. Ball is loose. And Virginia Tech recovers. Phil Bryant, freshman fullback, on top of that loose ball. That'll be a first down for Virginia Tech, as Fuhr, who is not known as a running quarterback, got out of there as the West Virginia pressure was coming. Final seconds ticking off the third quarter clock, and that will do it here in the third quarter of play. Virginia Tech has come back, and it's a 5-point ball game as we head to the fourth quarter, 15-10 Mountain. Not a soul has left sold-out Lane Stadium as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Virginia Tech Hokies looking for a major upset. Take a 5-point deficit into the fourth quarter of action, and Will Fuhr will throw on first down and 10. Fuhr has his man, Lamar Smith, brought down at the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. That'll bring up second down and 7.
Fuhr did a great job hanging in there, even with Chris Parker on his back, and was able to throw the football.
Statistically, West Virginia continues to dominate. 367 yards of total offense to 142 for the Hokies. But there's the key stat: turnovers. West Virginia has given it up 5 times, and Virginia Tech has almost played flawless turnover football. Lamar Smith on the carry, ahead to the 50-yard line, and a late flag comes down. Turnovers and penalties have been the story of the day for West Virginia. And again, it will be a face mask against the Mountaineers. Again, non-intentional, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty. 13 penalties now for the Mountaineers, 112 yards, and you see Virginia Tech with just 30 yards in penalties. The Hokies inside West Virginia territory. From the 45-yard line, Fuhrer looks to throw again. And this time, the West Virginia defense is there. Scott Summits over on the hit, along with Ronaldo Turnbull. 3-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 13.
Great pressure by the West Virginia defense that time. Again, Scott Summits, a total team player and role player.
Draw play to Ralph Brown, Bo Orlando, Darrell Whitmore, and Scott Summits finally wrestling down after a 5-yard pickup. An 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5.
One of their biggest plays, the draw play, the West Virginia defense converges on the football. It was a heck of a run.
So 3rd down situation for Virginia Tech. Don Nehlen's club needs to hold the Hokies. And the ball cannot be held there by Myron Richardson. Preston Waters was on the coverage, and Waters, who is coming back from a knee injury from arthroscopic surgery, is limping as he comes back to the huddle. Kelly Fitzgerald standing back at his 45-yard line in punt formation on 4th down and 6. .38 to go in the ball game. Fitzgerald's sky ball called for a fair catch by Grannis Bell, and West Virginia will take over at the 14-yard line. 1st down and 10 from the 14. When we return, 12:30 to go. The Mountaineers lead it by 5. There's about 17,000 West Virginia fans here at Lane Stadium this afternoon, and they are on their feet, exhorting the Mountaineers for a big play that they've been lacking here in the 2nd half, and they won't have it here. Darwin Herdman puts the stops on Major Harris. Back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. I can't remember, John, a game in which Major Harris has been, for the most part, shut down like he has been here this afternoon.
Give credit to the Virginia Tech defense. They're doing a great job containing Major Harris.
No question about it. The wide tackle 6 is proving to be a tough road for the Mountaineers. A.B. Brown breaking free as he crosses over the 25-yard line. This will bring up 3rd down and about 3. Bobby Martin made the stop. Don Nehlen said all week, do not overlook Virginia Tech. Despite the odds of West Virginia being a 22-point favorite. And you can see why. 3rd down and 3 facing West Virginia. A.B. Brown spinning for the 1st down. Brown cuts it outside, across midfield. It's going to be a foot race. A.B. Brown will be brought down at the 35-yard line, and a penalty marker comes down late. Roger Brown finally stopped A.B. Brown, and the marker came down late. We may see a face mask call here against Virginia Tech.
A.B. making a great run, spinning and running. Remember what we said, when he runs north and south, watch out.
A 38-yard rush for A.B. Brown, bringing him to 170 yards on the afternoon.
This is what we talked about, Tony. West Virginia needed a big play to get that momentum back in West Virginia's direction again.
Flipping will be the penalty. A 15-yarder. Tacked on to A.B. Brown's rush of 38. So a 53-yard run and penalty for West Virginia brings the ball down to the Virginia Tech 20-yard line. 11 minutes to go in the game. Craig Taylor is the ball carrier. Down at the 16. Don Stokes in to make the stop. Let's go back a play and take a look at the clipping penalty on A.B. Brown's run. There you see it. Mitch Dove, reserve left cornerback, number 23, came from behind and hit Reggie Rember. 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6. Again, it's A.B. Brown, and Brown spinning down to the 5-yard line. Roger Brown, the junior out of Baltimore, Maryland, stopping A.B. Brown. But not before the Mountaineers have the first down, a 1st down and goal.
Give credit to the West Virginia offensive line. They're really starting to come off the football now, create those scenes.
West Virginia leads it by 5. They've struggled once inside the Hokie 10-yard line this afternoon. Brown is in for the touchdown. Apparently, he bobbled the football, but landed on top of it. And with 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the game, A.B. Brown scores the touchdown from 5 yards away, and the Mountaineers lead it 21-10. Let's see if the ball pops loose. Yes, it does. It was stripped clean, and Brown fell on top of it. So after 5 turnovers charged against West Virginia, one finally goes the Mountaineers' way, and the Mountaineers take the lead by 11 with 10-11 to go in the ball game. Charlie Bauman on for his 2nd point after this afternoon. He missed the 1st. But he's good on the 2nd. And West Virginia leads by 12 with 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go. We'll be back right after this.
If anybody touches it, I'm going to scream. Oh, man, ouch.
Those tissues, they really start tearing our noses up.
Here's first aid for your nose when it's sore from too much blowing. Puffs Plus.
It feels like it has lotion in it.
Lotion.
Does it feel like lotion?
It's the first tissue with moisturizing lotion. Puffs Plus.
My nose isn't sore, it isn't rough, it isn't red anymore.
My nose loves Puffs Plus. Much better than my other tissue.
If you're going to have allergies, it's better with Puffs Plus.
Fans, don't forget Mountaineer Sports Night next Friday evening on MSN Television. Host Woody O'Hara will take a look at today's highlights with Coach Don Nealman and preview the East Carolina game. Mountaineer Sports Night loaded with features and information giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at West Virginia football. Consult your local listings for the time in your area. Well, the Mountaineers have some breathing room after A.B. Brown scored from 5 yards away. 6 plays, 81 yards, taking 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Thing about it is, Tony, that whole drive featured one play, the sprint draw left and right.
A.B. Brown is having one of his best Mountaineer afternoons, 186 yards on the ground for Anthony Brown, the senior from Salem, New Jersey. Brad Carroll puts the ball into play. With the wind behind him, he sends it 1 yard in. Jeff Roberts is the ball carrier for Virginia Tech. And he is stood up and brought down at the 15. Chuck Levinus and Willie Edwards over to make the hit on Jeff Roberts.
Chuck Levinus, a 3rd-team quarterback, running down there under kickoffs like a wild man.
Will Fuhrer, 5 of 18 this afternoon for 76 yards.
Did you say the Fuhrer?
No, not the Fuhrer.
Oh, okay.
Will Fuhrer, 5 of 18. Let's start things off on the handoff. Bringing it ahead to the 18-yard line. Chris Herring to make the stop there on Ralph Brown. Brown is Virginia Tech's leading rusher on the afternoon. 51 yards on 15 carries. So for the most part, West Virginia has been able to hold down Virginia Tech offensively. Fiore still under 100 yards throwing. And Brown with just over 50 yards on the ground is their leading carrier. It's been the penalties and the turnovers. And one trick play that caught West Virginia. Fiore looking deep as his tight end, Ken Barefoot, for the first down at the 32-yard line. Good job there by that Virginia Tech offensive line, giving Fiore plenty of time as he hits Ken Barefoot, junior out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the reception. You could say Barefoot was born into the Virginia Tech football program. His dad played tight end for the Hokies from 1965 to 67, was married while he was playing, and Ken was born while his dad was a member of the Tech team, and now he's back as the team's reserve tight end. Fiore looking for Myron Richardson. Batted down there by Willie Edwards.
A great play by Willie Edwards that time, the Morgantown native coming up over the top. It's a play-action pass, and Fiore sitting in the pocket well. Like you said, Tony, it was great protection. Just a great individual effort by Willie Edwards.
Willie Edwards, a senior out of Morgantown. Poked that ball away there. Second down and 10. And the running room is tough for Phil Bryant, a freshman out of Landover, Maryland. Scott Summits has been doing a very good job along the nose guard position for West Virginia this afternoon.
There's no doubt that the West Virginia defense was ready for today. The scouting report coming in featured the toss sweep, the belly, and the draw, and basically that's all we've seen today.
Big third down play here for Virginia Tech. They trail by 12 points, 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. Third down and 10. And Fiore will have the first down. Whitmore finally knocks Fiore down at the 49-yard line. First down for Virginia Tech.
That was a great call by the Virginia Tech coaching staff. West Virginia had a stunt on the inside where the outside linebacker and the defensive tackle twist. Fiore on the quarterback draw, and there was just a natural seam there open up for him. And again, in man coverage, everybody's following their man. Fiore made a good play.
Will Fiore, not a running quarterback, but when he has to, he will tuck it under. And he's done it well here a few times this afternoon. First down for Virginia Tech, under 8 minutes to go. And Fiore looking to go deep. Over the middle, Theron Ellis on the coverage for West Virginia. Intended over there for the tight end, Ken Barefoot, back at the 35-yard line. But Theron Ellis, the junior out of Norristown, Pennsylvania, was man-on-man coverage, and he was right on top of Barefoot.
Theron, a great athlete, has a 38-inch vertical jump and a 405-pound bench press. He's made the transition from outside backer to inside backer very well.
Jeff Roberts lines up as a receiver, far to the left. Nick Cullen has the flanker to the right. The quick toss goes to Ralph Brown. Brown has running room. Darrell Whitmore there to push him out of bounds, and they'll mark it back at the 38.5-yard line. That's a first down for Virginia Tech. Don Newland is down. Not only is he crouching, but he's got to be down with this performance this afternoon.
I'm sure he's obviously very concerned. It isn't like West Virginia didn't prepare well enough. On Wednesday, I was at practice. They were on the practice field for over 3 hours. And that's not counting special E and flexing and all that sort of thing. I mean, that's work.
Hokies on the move. Fiore, plenty of time again. Ball is deflected, and it is intercepted by Darrell Whitmore. No. They say that Whitmore did not have it. This will be an interesting one to take another look at. .34 to go in the ball game. Really can't pick that one up because Whitmore's back was to us. So that'll bring up second down and 10. Whitmore already has one interception in the ball game. From the Mountaineer 39-yard line. The draw play. Lamar Smith brought down to the 30. They'll be just a couple yards short of the first down marker. Willie Edwards over to make the stop on Lamar Smith, 5'8", 195-pound sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. He's a baseball player at Virginia Tech. In fact, a good baseball player. He was second team All-Metro as a center fielder. Third down and 1 yard. The ball carrier is Bryant, and he will be stopped short. Freshman fullback Phil Bryant was stopped short, and that'll bring up 4th down and 1.
Again, Chris Herring just having an outstanding game defensively at that middle linebacker position. Came in for the tackle for the loss.
6:29 and counting. This snap, ball loose, kicked around. The ball is still in play. This is Jeff Roberts. And Roberts will be short of the 1st down marker. The Mountaineers will have the football. On a wild play, Roberts came out of that scrum with it, but he is short of the 1st down marker by 2 yards.
I tell you, that was a heads-up play by Roberts. That ball being kicked around in there, it looked like rugby. He picks it up and almost made the 1st down.
Ball is loose and it'll squirt out here. Roberts just watching things. Takes off with it. And you've got to give credit there to some alert West Virginia defenders. Chris Herring and Elvoyd Mays there to corral Jeff Roberts. West Virginia takes over with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go from the 32-yard line. The blitz is on. Here comes Andre Johnson, and Johnson slipping on the natural grass surface down at the 34-yard line.
Again, West Virginia defense rising to the occasion, creating the 4th down situation, coming up with a big play again and again and again today.
Don Nealon sends in the play with Reggie Rembert. Rembert and Kelvin Phillips will flank out to the right side. Harris, and the pass is complete to Kelvin Phillips. A great catch by Phillips. Right on that 1st down marker. Will Goen, reserve safety, made the stop, and that's a 1st down for West Virginia.
Calvin having a great year. He has 8 catches for 256 yards. 7 of those catches are over 25 yards.
He's the long threat for West Virginia. But on that particular play, he just got enough for that 1st down marker. Andre Johnson looks to turn it outside. Johnson at the 49-yard line, pushed out of bounds there. And now some extracurricular activity along that sideline.
The toss sweep, and this is one thing that West Virginia benefits from, is having that depth at tailback. I mean, here it is, the 4th quarter, and we have a fresh tailback in there. And he's able to get those 2 and 3 extra grinding yards because he's fresh.
Andre Johnson, West Virginia's 10th all-time leading ground gainer in the school's history. And he's done that primarily as a reserve in his career. 8-yard pickup, 2nd down and 2. And the ball carrier is Rico Tyler. 1st down, West Virginia, inside Tech territory. Al Chambly making the stop. Rico Tyler on his 1st carry of the ball game. Sophomore out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Stocky guy, normally used as a blocker, 5'10", 214 pounds.
Again, a backup fullback in there. Rico's a 435-pound bench presser, and that's not bad for a backup.
Quick toss, Kelvin Phillips has it. Phillips still going inside the 30-yard line. 1st down, West Virginia. Roger Brown, the right cornerback.
I mean, Major Harris threw the pill on that one. That was like a dart. A 1-step drop, and he just whizzed that thing in there. Great job by Calvin trying to get the extra yardage.
John Granby had the initial hit, but Roger Brown had to come over and finally get the twisting Phillips to go down.
That was the sharpest pass as Major's thrown all day.
1st and 10 for the Mountaineers. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. West Virginia 22, Virginia Tech 10, and Johnson up the middle. Andre picks up about 4. as Bo Orlando, West Virginia's senior strong safety, looks on. It's been a long afternoon for Bo Orlando and the Mountaineer defenders, but they have done the job. When they had to hold, they did this afternoon.
And that's the difference between the good teams and the great teams, Tony. The great teams come in and they meet adversity and they overcome it. The good teams fall by the wayside.
Second down and 6. Pressure is on, the ball is loose. And Virginia Tech has recovered the football. Don Stokes tossed the ball free from Major Harris and fell on top of it. And the Hokies will have it back with 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Watch the blitz coming from the blind side. That was Granby making the initial hit, and Stokes diving on top of the loose ball. That's the 6th West Virginia turnover this afternoon. From the 39-yard line. Pressure is on. Pat Marlette is after Fuhr, and they've got him in the backfield. Dale Jackson and Pat Marlette. Marlette turned him around, and Dale Jackson, the senior out of Canton, Ohio, there to make the stop, and Fuhr is hurt.
Fuhr has really played a great game today, Tony. He's really hung in there and has done a good job for Virginia Tech. I'd hate to see if anything serious has happened to him.
2 minutes and 53 seconds to go. West Virginia leads it 22-10. We'll be back.
Virginia Tech has retired Bruce Smith of the Buffalo Bills jersey here last year. He's had an outstanding defensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills and had an outstanding career here at Virginia Tech. In turn, he gave the Virginia Tech program a $50,000 scholarship fund.
Executive producer of the Mountaineer Sports Network is Mike Parsons. Today's game directed by Nick Smith. The associate producer is Alan Hercules. Our next MSN television game will be Saturday, October the 8th, as the Mountaineers take on the Pirates of East Carolina on many of these same stations. Consult your local listings for the time in your area. Well, Will Fuhr is hurt, and they seem to be working on his shoulder. As mentioned earlier, Fuhr underwent shoulder surgery in the spring, and that may be a reoccurrence of that injury. Let's see.
That's really a shame. This guy has played a great game today. It's kind of amazing that he's come back so quick and he's able to play after shoulder surgery.
Well, it's not the legs, and so it's something in the upper body. You'd have to think it would be the shoulder. He was hit there by Dale Jackson on the last play. Cam Young will come in at quarterback for Virginia Tech, a transfer from North Carolina State. 6'3", 200-pound junior from Salem, Virginia. Second down and 17 with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go. That first snap is bobbled. Ball is loose, and it looks as though Young got back on top of it. Commonly see that when a new quarterback goes in.
Mass substitution by the West Virginia defense, a 3rd and long situation. Coach Shaw putting the best people in the game for the present time.
Loss of 3 on the play, and so it is 3rd down and 20. Young looking to throw. Dumping it out to Lamar Smith. Penalty flag goes down. And you've got to think face mask once again or a clip.
The officials surely earning their money today, weren't they, Tony?
Yes, they are, Kevin. They're earning too much of it, according to West Virginia. That's going to be a clip.
15, penalty decline, 4th down, penalty decline.
So the Mountaineers give the penalty over, and the down will move ahead to 4th. 4th down and 22. Kelly Fitzgerald has a 39.6-yard average this afternoon on 9 punts. His last kick traveling 53 yards, so he's really come back after a shaky performance a week ago against Syracuse. This one's a high, lofty kick. And will be down at the 47-yard line. So West Virginia will take over. The game seemingly in hand, up by 12 points with 1 minute and 46 seconds to go. A 25-yard punt there by Fitzgerald. Some things hold true no matter what the odds makers say. West Virginia always has a tough time in Blacksburg, averaging 11 points per game since Don Nealon has come down here. This afternoon they come in averaging 48 a game, and they have 22 so far. Under Johnson hit in the backfield by Horatio Moranta. A couple-yard loss on that play.
There was no doubt that the West Virginia Mountaineers were going to come down to Blacksburg this week and take the Hokies' best shot. I mean, these kids were ready to play. Give credit to the Virginia Tech coaching staff. They did a great job today.
Really did. Virginia Tech has called a timeout with 1 minute and 39 to go.
This is a fairly young team too, Tony. We'll see some better football out of Virginia Tech for the next couple of years.
Tremendous youth on this team. They've only got 3 seniors out there, offensively and defensively, and matter of fact, every senior will come back on the top 22 players on the defensive side. So the top 2 strings will return next year for Virginia Tech.
And next week, the Mountaineers can expect to go down and take East Carolina's best shot. And when you're on top, you have to be prepared every week to take that best shot.
Second down and 13. Mountaineers keeping the ball on the ground, and under Johnson tripped up as he slides ahead to the 50-yard line. Mountaineers seem content to be running out the clock here. And timeout again called by Virginia Tech.
You know, Tony, every week you see upsets. You see Rutgers go out and beat Michigan. Then you see Vanderbilt beat Rutgers. And teams are coming so even now because of the 30 scholarship rule. Boy, it really takes a great effort to keep winning on a consistent basis.
Fans beginning to filter out of Lane Stadium here in Blacksburg. A tremendous afternoon for football. Sunshine, temperature very comfortable. The wind a factor, blowing strong from right to left throughout the game, but both sides had to work against that and work with it.
I think every time that I've come down here, the wind has always been strong and blows the same direction.
Third down and 8, man-on-man coverage against Reggie Rembert out on the right side. Mountaineers fake that reverse, and here comes Major Harris. He'll be shy of the first down marker. Great job there by the Virginia Tech defense. Sean Lucas coming over to knock down Major Harris.
Sean has the speed to run down Major Harris. He runs a 4.5 40.
A.B. Brown, tremendous afternoon for the senior from Salem, New Jersey. 192 yards on 21 carries. And a touchdown in the fourth quarter that put away the Hokies. A key touchdown. Yes, A.B., you were number 1 this afternoon.
Tony, what is a Hokie?
Well, you'd have to go back in the books to take a look.
The trivia buff that you are, you don't have the answer for that one?
The history of the Hokies and the Gobblers goes back. It used to be Gobblers, then Hokies. Kind of like a Hoya. Lance Carrion's punt. High boomer with the wind. And a flag goes down as Carrion was hit. And West Virginia, with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go, will have the option of taking this penalty.
Lance, a pretty good athlete. He has a 32-inch vertical jump. Needs a little work on his bench, though. He only benches 190 pounds.
It's not bad for a guy that weighs 143.
Heck, I think you can even bench 190 pounds, couldn't you? That physique I saw you walking around the room this morning, yeah.
5 yards. First down. 40. Number 40. Number 40. First down.
So the Mountaineers will have the ball back after the Virginia Tech penalty. Roughing the kicker is the call. Mountaineers will have it from the 43-yard line. Major Harris stays in at quarterback. Under Johnson. Pushing ahead, crosses over the 40-yard line, down to the 38. Now under 1 minute to go in the ball game. West Virginia leads it by 12. 22-10 is the score. It's been an afternoon that Major Harris won't soon forget. He has been hit hard, has coughed the ball up several times. Really never got off this afternoon. Rico Tyler stood up there by Don Stokes and Horatio Moranta. 23 seconds and counting. Third down and 5 yards to go. Clock winds down, and that should be it. That will be it. West Virginia has hung on to win this one, but a tremendous effort by Virginia Tech here this afternoon. Major Harris finishing up with 206 yards through the air, picked off twice. And the Mountaineers come back fighting off turnovers and fighting off a penalty-filled afternoon, and they win it by a score of 22-10. We'll be back to wrap it up. Stay tuned. Well, the West Virginia Mountaineers move ahead to 5-0 on the season with a 22-10 victory over the Virginia Tech Hokies, a game that will be remembered for West Virginia's sloppy play when it came to turnovers and when it came to penalties. But in the long run, when West Virginia had to hold back Virginia Tech, they did. A tremendous job by the West Virginia defensive players as the Mountaineers move ahead to 5-0 on the season. A.B. Brown, the big performer for West Virginia offensively, finishing up with 192 yards on 21 carries. A.B. scoring 1 touchdown. West Virginia's other touchdown coming in the first quarter of play on a 5-yard, making an 8-yard run by Craig Taylor. Taylor finished up with 1 touchdown. So the big afternoon belongs to A.B. Brown with 192 yards. West Virginia wins it by a final score of 22-10. For John Garcia, I'm Tony Caridi saying thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again next week.